There is a stacked lineup of upcoming multiplayer games in 2017, and in this video, we'll be going over 12 big upcoming multiplayer games for the rest of the year. Let's get right into this. Star Wars Battlefront 2. The last Star Wars Battlefront game was heavily anticipated, however, many would say that the game was a disappointment, and you could include me in that camp. Mechanically and technically, the game was really good. The visuals were outstanding, however, the title really lacked in content. That should be remedied in the sequel. Characters and locations from the prequel and sequel trilogies will be included, as well as the classes and multiplayer. Star Wars Battlefront 2 comes to PC, PS4, and Xbox One on November 17th.
Resistance. Rebellion. You will burn these ideas away.
Hope cannot save them!
Destiny 2. Speaking of highly anticipated games, Destiny was another one that many would consider to be a disappointment. However, with time and the expansions, Rise of the Iron namely, the game did get much more enjoyable. Now we have the sequel, Destiny 2, which is set 1 year after the events of Rise of the Iron. This time around, the game will also be coming to PC. Destiny 2 comes to PS4 and Xbox One on September 8th. The PC release date is still to be determined.
Together, we can take back our home, or we die trying.
Call of Duty World War II. The latest and one of the biggest franchises in all of the gaming is back in Call of Duty with Call of Duty World War II, with many calling for a revamp on the franchise or at least something to freshen things up. Going back to World War II is an exciting premise. New features such as Headquarters Social Space, Divisions, and War Mode have already been announced. Call of Duty World War II comes to PC, PS4, and Xbox One on November 3rd. Absolver. Absolver is a martial arts focused multiplayer action RPG coming from an indie studio composed of former Ubisoft Paris employees. It's got very unique fighting-based gameplay with an interconnected world with free roaming and merging single, cooperative, and competitive content. It's a game with a lot of potential that's been going a bit under the radar. It comes to PS4 and PC on August 29th.
Besides this, prospects can learn other combat styles by choosing a mentor and staying loyal to him or her. Prospects can choose mentors as they meet in the world. Through their loyalty, prospects can learn additional combat styles and use their mentor's combat deck. Steel yourself, dear prospect. Combat instincts may come natural, but refining your combat style and combat deck is key to both basic survival and victory in the lost lands of Adal.
Lawbreakers. Lawbreakers is being developed by Boss Key Productions, which is a studio headed by Cliff Bleszinski of Gears of War fame. It's a multiplayer first-person shooter with an emphasis on gravity-based gameplay, so it's got something to set it apart from other first-person shooters. Gameplay looks fast-paced, and while technically it's nothing to write home about, the mechanics look on point. Lawbreakers is coming to PC and PS4 in 2017. State of Decay 2. The first State of Decay was a great game, however it was single player only. With State of Decay 2, it's going to feature multiplayer as well. Set in an open world environment, the game features cooperative play with up to 3 other players. Technically, the game is looking really good running on the Unreal Engine 4, and as long as this builds upon the first game, it should turn out to be great. State of Decay 2 comes to PC and Xbox One in 2017. Escape from Tarkov. Escape from Tarkov is a very ambitious game being developed by Battlestate Games. It's an open-world survival game that's story-driven and has a big emphasis on the multiplayer. The depth to the game seems insane with all the variety of content with the raids, world, items, perks, skills. I can go on and on. An official release hasn't been set, however a closed beta is expected to begin this year.
Слышь, охуеть! Вообще круто! Пацаны, я заряжаю!
Worlds Adrift. Worlds Adrift is a massively multiplayer sandbox game set in a vast universe that is constantly changing by players' action. You explore a vast open world of floating islands where every element has its own weight and physics. You have to harvest resources and build a skyship to traverse the world. Worlds Adrift is in early access already, hopefully a full release comes before the year's out. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Marvel vs. Capcom has been one of the most iconic fighting game franchises for a long time, and the latest title, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, is bringing a lot of refinement. It features 2-on-2 fights instead of the typical 3-on-3 format. The character assists have been removed in favor of a tag combo system. Infinite is also designed to be more accessible than previous titles, but be sure that if you expect to get to a high level at multiplayer, it'll require a bit of skill. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite comes to PC, PS4, and Xbox One on September 19th.
Come at me with all you've got. Let's settle this.
Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is the latest from iconic franchise Rare. It's a first-person game set in a pirate open-world universe. You join a crew and set sail on a ship to experience different kinds of adventures and activities together, treasure hunting for gold, collecting resources, etc. The game has a lot of potential and it's coming to PC and Xbox One in 2017.
Oh, nice. Hit. Nice.
Hey, look, that person on the front.
And I'm gonna ram on.
They're boarding us. They're
ramming. Be ready.
Did you see that? Did you see them try and board and they jumped all the way across and fell off?
Uh-oh. There's someone on our ship. There's someone on our ship.
Oh, I need to get my weapon.
Oh, I got killed by John Dongermans with a sword.
Use the cannonball.
Use the cannon.
Where is he?
I shot him.
He's
him.
on the ship with a sword.
Yeah, I got him. I shot him.
SCUM. SCUM is looking to evolve the multiplayer open-world survival formula with a ridiculous amount of character customization, control, and progression where knowledge and skills are the ultimate weapons for long-term survival. You need to balance base-level needs and knowledge-based skills to manage everything from nourishment, metabolic rate, and body mass to weapon proficiency. So there's a lot of depth and detail. SCUM is coming to early access in 2017.
The amount of stamina, overall body condition, and metabolism processes depend largely on the Constitution attribute. This means that even though the rifle skill is linked to the strength attribute, it also depends on other body attributes. After all, human bodies are complex machines. Scatter radius is significantly reduced when the player aims down the sight. Previous factors still apply, but since the player holds the weapon firmly and aims down the sight, the recoil is reduced and shot groupings are tighter.
QUAKE Champions. QUAKE Champions is the latest in the QUAKE franchise, and it's the first entry since 2005. It's a hero-style shooter this time around in the sense that it features a large array of playable characters, each with their own set of unique skills. It's still going to be as fast-paced as ever, and it'll have a free-to-play option where you can play as Ranger with additional characters being available for purchase. QUAKE Champions releases in 2017. So that wraps up 12 upcoming multiplayer games in 2017. What do you think? Which multiplayer titles are you the most excited for? Comment your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.